how's it going? This is the third video in our Sprinter Boxwood series. So we started this project over here on the west side. I thought we were gonna be able to get it all done in one fell swoop, like in one day, and I bit off way more than I could chew. So we ended up having to split it into 3 separate videos. So the first one, we got all the boxwoods planted. Second video, we ran all of the irrigation to the area and just showed you exactly how we did that because we did tie it into our irrigation system. But we also talked about ways that you can do it just from a hose bib. And then in this video, I'm gonna start training the boxwoods. So I'm gonna top them a little bit. We'll start training them into a hedge form, and then we're gonna mulch the whole area so it'll look like really clean and tidy. So let me turn the camera around and just give you a little tour to bring you up to speed as to where we're at right now. So you can kind of see the design we were going for here. So around each red point maple, we used the Sprinter boxwoods and planted them in a swoop. And then we went straight with them along the driveway until we reached the next red point maple, and then we did another swoop. And we did that all the way down around each one of the red point maples here. And then when we were all done planting the sprinters, we came in with the Green Mountain cones and kind of set those back and planted 2. So where, you know, each swoop starts, we kind of planted 1 here, and then there's 1 back there, just to draw a little bit more evergreen interest back away from the hedge and a little bit more height in the end. But you can see that, you know, right when you plant a brand new hedge, it doesn't look like a hedge quite yet. I mean, you can see where we're going with it, but they're not very uniform in size. They're a little bit woolly and wild. So what I'm gonna do is I have my hedge trimmers out here. I'm just gonna take a little bit of growth off the top of the boxwoods. And that will do 2 things. It will make them look a little less wild, a little more clean, and it will also help encourage growth outward. It'll help them kind of stool out and get a little bit thicker and produce a little bit more outward growth, which is what I want. I don't want a huge tall hedge. I want it to be a very kind of manageable, kind of shorter hedge, because I want to be able to see over the driveway to the urns that we have also in this area. And we decided to do that first before we mulch, because when you trim boxwoods, it can be a huge mess. And usually I have like some kind of a material like a tarp or harvest guard underneath boxwoods to catch all of my trimmings. But I thought, you know what, if we're just gonna mulch, I'm just gonna trim these quick and we can just mulch on top of all the clippings and they can turn into compost. And here comes Aaron. He's gonna follow behind me and just get the biggest chunks of boxwood. But before I get started, I do want to show you the saturation on the drip. We're really pleased. We ran 5 drip tubes all the way down. We broke it up into 2 zones, which if you watched the second video in this series, we did that whole project. But you can see how saturated it made the soil. And it just so happened that I think almost every single boxwood has a tube going by it. And I know it looks like we're wasting a bunch of water right in here, but this will all be planted probably fairly soon. And it's nice to have your drip in place from the very beginning. That way I don't have to run it, you know, right in the middle of a project and make a mess, and it'll all be hidden initially under mulch. So here are the tools we're gonna use. I've got my DeWalt hedge trimmers, so it'll make really quick work of this. And then we've got a couple of rakes. These are just like really flexible rakes that will hopefully go over the drip tubing really nicely. And one more thing I wanted to mention is now is still a great time to trim your boxwoods. Basically, you can trim them any time of year that you're not going to be experiencing any extremes in temperatures for a week or 2 after you're done trimming. So spring is great. Also like late summer, early fall before it gets too cold is a good time. So basically you just want to make sure that they're not going to be exposed to anything under freezing or something way too hot right after you expose that fresh growth, because then it could damage that. So anyway, now we're going to get this project started. Oh my word, I thought that topping these would help a little, but it helped a lot. They look so much cleaner. I love it. I did come in along the straight here, and if there were any wild branches kind of sticking out, I cut those, but they're really not that straight yet because the boxwoods are all different shapes when you plant them. I mean, you can see right here, like this one's much more full than say like that one there. So anyway, I'm super pleased. Now we finally get to mulch. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's gorgeous. Look at what a difference mulch makes. It's like perfection. I wouldn't need to put another dang thing in here and I would be happy with this. And just that little trimming of the boxwoods made everything look so nice. Let me take you all the way down to the other end. So we started with the mulch right here in this corner and then just worked our way down to the other end. I'm not even sure how many bags we went through, but quite a few. And this is just a shredded bark mulch. This is a black mulch. I really like the look of it. It contrasts the plants really nice and it's just nice and natural looking. And we do have all the supplies to at least finish all the irrigation and mulch the other side so that, you know, it won't be such a difference. Isn't that crazy? I mean, the mulch side versus the unmulched side, I mean, our dirt is so high alkaline, it's like almost white when it's dry. And then you add a nice top layer of mulch and it makes everything look so good. And I'm so happy with the sprinters. I just love the brightness of their color. And I mentioned in a prior video that they don't have the cat odor smell and they grow about 2 to 4 feet tall and wide. So I think they're gonna make the perfect variety of boxwood to keep them in a smaller type of hedge. They also don't bronze in the winter, so they'll stay this nice green. And I've planted sprinters in quite a number of other areas around the house. Like I planted a big row of them, a hedge along the other side of the driveway. They're around our urn in Versailles, and then I planted 3 just singles that I want to keep in spherical shapes close to our gazebo. And so I've been planting them for several years now, and I have never had to replace a single boxwood. Now, knock on wood, I hope that that's not the case here, but I've had such great luck with this variety that it's one that I want to keep repeating. So anyway, that is it for this series of videos. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did anyway. Just, you know, finally seeing this area turn into something that I've been thinking about for a really long time. It's very satisfying for me. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.